Hey, Mike, Mr. Contributor to the CBC, you're the conspiracy theorist. You're the one that needs to be wearing a tinfoil hat on your head by putting forth and presenting this kind of diatribe, this kind of article, this kind of bullshit propagandist hit piece towards those who actually challenge or question the orthodoxy of the ruling class or the establishment. Really, though? Come on. Or what? Oh, there's no such thing, right? No such thing at all? No. We're all even, right? We're all equal. Is that what you're suggesting? Like I say, these people are fucking... the way they speak, the fact that you know that none of the things that they say is based or grounded in anything factual or observably true or correct. So what happens when you're absent of any information that's observably true or factually correct? It's all built on mysticism, lies, or propaganda. Headline. CBC News, obviously. How a 9/11 truther may be influencing which Ontario election videos you see. Right? Think about that headline. I'm going to read it one more time because just listen to this. I'm going to read a little bit slower this time, but just listen to what they're suggesting in this headline here. How a 9/11 truther, so someone that challenged the narrative of what happened on 9/11, 2001, you know, when those planes flew into the building down the U.S., but someone that was challenging the actual narrative, right? So how's that a negative thing? That should be construed as a negative, right? I don't know why the media constantly tries to put forward or espouse that particular narrative. Why would you paint people negatively for challenging the narrative of the political or the pundit class? Because we've known, I mean, there's so many times, whether it's the Gulf of Tonkin incident, I mean, just look throughout history, folks. There's been so many times where even those in the established media have come out and said, you know, many years later, decades later, of course, right? Because they are more than willing to fucking silence themselves, you know, for the ruling class, right? Because they're basically part of it. A lot of them are. But they'll come out after the fact and say, oh, yeah, this shit really did happen. Even though for like the last 20 years, you know, people such as this 9/11 truther guy was talked about as being a conspiracy theorist. When the truth comes out, it's like, oh, well, they were right all along. Is there any apology tours? Like, did the people in the media come out and say, oh, I'm sorry that I fucking told, you know, the people that were listening to you that you were a conspiracy theorist, right? I'm sorry that you were actually telling them the truth. Sorry that we were the one that were actually lying to the masses, to the public. But, hey, no, you won't hear that. So, once again, think about the kind of shit this guy's promoting or trying to espouse in this article. A search for election videos shows an unknown YouTube channel outranks many mainstream media outlets. Outranks. That's right. That's right, because, yeah, people don't need to turn to it. And I mean, the fact that it outranks, which means a whole lot more people are paying attention to people that you're trying to insult and deride. And do you think by putting forth this kind of fucking political propagandist hit piece towards these people that that's going to benefit you, or that people are going to read that, especially the ones that you're trying to, you know, talk negatively about? Do you think they're going to come around by you just putting forth a political propagandist hit piece towards them, or are they going to double down and actually reinforce the fact that they definitely want to question the political orthodoxy or the propagandist narrative that the established media tries to espouse? You're actually literally helping them. You're helping their cause by proving that you're unwilling to think about things or talk about them objectively. You really don't see that? Some people you just can't help, right? I guess. If you seek out Ontario election coverage on YouTube, you've no doubt come across a recommended list of material the video sharing service suggests you watch next. A CBC News investigation found that a YouTube channel devoted to putting misleading headlines on TV stories from other stations is getting recommended more often than many mainstream news outlets. Right? So it's just jealousy. It's just envy. Well, hey, if you were actually honest to the people and report things objectively, right, using moral principles, right, being adversarial to the ruling class instead of cozying up and protecting them, well, yeah, the people in these alternative media or news sites or outlets, they wouldn't stand a chance, right? Because people would be like, no, I could get honest information from the established media. But they know they can't get it, so they look elsewhere. Once again, what the hell is wrong with you people that you don't realize that I mean, you can hate on other people for now wanting to look for better sources, but you're not helping them by saying, oh, these other sources, oh, they're worse than we are. Meanwhile, they're fucking actually telling you the truth, right? Like, I don't know how, once again, I don't know how they try to square that round peg, but hey, that's kind of the thing what those in the established media do these days. Though they spin stories to the point where the scenarios they set up are so improbable and so impossible that it's like, well, of course we know you're fucking lying. The video by YouTube user Steeper33, which is most likely to appear when searching for Ontario election content, is a video of PC MPP Sam Osterhoff during question period. The video is titled Youngest Ever Ontario MPP Destroys Premier Win. Oh, by the way, the hilarious part, well, the secondary aspect and other hilarious part of this ridiculous hit piece, this propagandist bullshit narrative put forth by this dipshit, is the fact that I actually pay attention to this Steeper33. I've actually been subscribed to this particular YouTube channel because actually, whoever it is that puts it out, they present some pretty good stuff, right? So, and once again, but I'm also subscribed to a lot of these established media outlets. So it's like, well, hey, guess what? CBC and all you dipshits. Yeah, I like to get alternative opinions and narratives, right? And I don't need my information spoon-fed or force-fed to me where it's just your narrative and your narrative alone. You know, I'm not all about just getting a one-sided story. I like to hear, different opinions and the other side of the story, or multiple sides of the story if I can, right? That's actually the only way you can actually even pretend that you're even remotely close to being intellectually or properly informed, is if you've heard multiple sides of the story and that you at least try to pick out and disseminate the most objective, the most reasonable, the most logically consistent, the most reasonable explanation or stance on a particular story or issue or topic. So sorry that people are looking elsewhere because, like I said, repeating. I can't help it, though. I just can't help but repeat and say, a truly informed citizen is one who listens to multiple viewpoints and narratives, not just one. And not from just one source or multiple sources that are from one side of the political spectrum or the political aisle. The fact that I even have to say this is like, wow. Anyways, and while that headline might convince you to click play, the content you get isn't exactly as billed. The 19-year-old MPP asks a straightforward question about manufacturing job losses, and Wynne simply defers the answer to the minister responsible for economic development. So how is that kind of content ending up alongside material from mainstream media outlets on YouTube's list of recommended videos? It could be a result of the kind of sensational headlines Steeper33 puts on his videos. Yeah, because, the established media, they don't do any kind of sensationalized headlines or tabloid-style reporting to get clickbait, right? Anyways, listen, I would love to read into this article further, but you know what? It'd be just a complete and utter waste because, once again, folks, but I will post a link to it in the description of the video below. So, and I always suggest, read it just in case, just on the small chance that I might be misleading you. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't need to. These fuckers shoot themselves in the foot enough. Like, I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to squeeze their toes and make the pain worse for them because it's like, now they're damaging their own brands themselves. I don't need to add anything other than just, some truth, some reason, and a counter narrative to the bullshit they try to espouse. That's it. That's all I got to do. And obviously, they're not challenging me very much because I don't have to say a whole lot to point out the bullshit, hypocrisy, and lies espoused in these kind of hit pieces, in these kind of ridiculous articles. But yeah, hey, before I do tie this video up, listen, the established media, they're failing and falling fast, folks. I mean, a lot of people, you still want to cling on to it. I guess that's the thing about the left, the leftists, the collectivists. It's like, you seem very conservative that you want to maintain, right, and continue to propagate and prop up this establishment media, these establishment media platforms and these established media hacks. It's like, you want to conserve that stuff, right? I don't know. Don't you want to progress past that stuff in any way? Nothing progressive about you there, is it? But anyways, I digress. But yeah, the alternative media, like the internet has given rise to, like I say, a counter narrative, and the fact that, and the ability for all of us, even people like myself, just a lowly individual Canadian that's not rich or wealthy or connected in any way to these big political parties or corporations, or I have none of that shit backing me up. Like I said, I still do all this stuff basically on the fly and for free. And it's just me, one dude, with a little bit of stuff that I've bought to help me along the way, and my son, who has helped me rise to the occasion and learn how to better articulate myself, and me constantly challenging myself. But basically, I'm just one dude, and even I have the ability to completely destroy the narrative of these, $billion+ crony or crown corporations. So, what does that tell you? They're failing badly and severely. And what they're doing is lashing out at those who are actually giving the people a counter narrative, giving the people some truth. Because they don't, these are the people that usually throughout all of history up until now, right? They've had the power and the authority to dominate and control the script, the narrative. Now that they've lost that control, they're pissed off and they're lashing out against those of us that are destroying their ideologically driven narratives. Sorry. Well, not really. Going to keep doing it. Because liberty, freedom, personal responsibility, accountability, morality, ethics, they all mean enough to me and to a lot of people. And the future of freedom matters enough to us that, we'll do what's got to be done. And, we'll continue to destroy your bullshit propagandist narrative every chance we get. It's Canadian Libertarian. I love liberty.